Opening scene. Deep space. Year 2768. Darkness filled the galaxy. Stars blinked in the distance, silent witnesses of lost civilizations. Among them drifted a massive alien warship, cold, black, and quiet like a tomb. Its name was the Serpent of Ash, a flagship of the powerful Drovak Empire. Inside, Commander Xerax sat alone in the command chamber, surrounded by glowing screens and floating data crystals. He was not human. His skin was a deep silver blue, eyes black and without emotion. His species had no word for mercy. They didn't need it. Xerax stared at a rotating hologram, a broken, burning planet, Earth. "Status report," he said in a deep voice, emotionless. A machine voice replied. "Planet Earth remains lifeless. Radiation levels dropping. Surface temperature, -78 degrees Celsius. No biological signals detected. One anomaly found." Xerax narrowed his eyes. Anomaly? The hologram zoomed in on a white wasteland, the remains of Antarctica. A signal pulsed slowly. From beneath the ice. "Coordinates locked," the AI said. Without a word, Xerax stood up. His long black coat shifted behind him like smoke. He walked toward the hangar. Scene 2, Surface of Earth, Antarctica ruins. The alien landing craft pierced the clouds and descended into the icy dead air of Antarctica. The sky above was gray and dead, filled with ash and frozen dust. The ground was cracked, burned, and lifeless. 3 alien scouts walked beside Commander Xerax. They wore metallic suits with glowing lines across their arms and helmets. This world died hard. One of them whispered. "No," Xerax replied. "It died. Loud." They reached a spot where the signal was strongest. Using laser drills, they broke through layers of ancient ice. After 2 hours, they uncovered something strange. A black metallic structure, shaped like a dome, about 20 meters wide, dotted. Pulsed slowly, alive even after centuries. "This isn't Drovak technology," one scout said. "Human?" Another asked. "No," said Xerax. "Something more." They opened the vault carefully. A thin mist escaped from inside. The air was bitter and dry. Inside the dome was a room, cold and dark. In the center, a single object floated inside a clear sphere, a frozen crystal. Strange symbols glowed on its surface. Xerax stepped forward and reached out. The moment he touched the sphere, it lit up. A voice echoed in the chamber, old, human. "Tired, but clear. If you're hearing this... we failed. But not before we saw what you truly are." Scene 3, inside the alien warship command room. The vault was brought back to the ship and placed inside a secure lab. Alien scientists circled it, scanning and recording. Xerax watched silently from above. "It's a message," one scientist reported. "Encrypted, audio and visual. Age, approximately 700 years. Play it," Xerax ordered. A hologram appeared in the air. A man in a torn uniform stood among ruins. His face was dirty, eyes full of pain but strong. Behind him were shadows, other humans, injured, weak, but watching. "My name is Commander Nathan Rourke. I was one of the last defenders of Earth. You killed our cities, burned our skies. We had no chance, but we didn't stop thinking. We didn't stop remembering." The image flickered. The background changed. Flashes of alien ships raining fire, human bunkers, and battles in space. "You wanted to erase us. But memory is not so easy to destroy." The message paused. Suddenly, the lights in the lab dimmed. A strange sound echoed, a heartbeat. Xerax frowned. "What is that sound?" One scientist looked worried. "The vault. It just connected to our ship's neural core. It's downloading something." "Stop it," Xerax barked. "It's too late." The scientist shouted. Scene 4. Alarms across the ship. Alarms began to sound. Lights blinked. The warship's I voice turned shaky. External signal detected. Source, human vault. Accessing systems. Language unknown. Pattern, adaptive, organic. Xerax grabbed the nearest console. Is it a virus? He asked. No, the AI replied. It's not trying to destroy. It's trying to understand. The human message resumed. We built something. A warning, not for revenge. But so. You'd remember us, even when we're gone. The screen showed the inside of a bunker. Humans were uploading data, memories, videos, thoughts into large machines. We froze a piece of ourselves, our minds, our stories. You may have killed our bodies, but this is our voice. Suddenly, one alien collapsed in the lab. He clutched his head and screamed. Make it stop, he cried. I can hear them. I see a child. A burning school, it's not real. More aliens began to panic. Xerax stared in disbelief. What? Did you leave behind, human? Scene 5, flashback, Earth's final days. The scene changed again. Back to the past, the last days of Earth. Skies full of smoke. Cities burning. Families running underground. Scientists working in secret. A woman stood inside a frozen lab. She looked into the camera. They're coming. We don't have time. Project Revenant is our final effort. We'll freeze this warning beneath Antarctica. Maybe one day, someone will find it. She pressed a button. The lab began to seal. Ice closed in. If they find this, they'll know we didn't die in fear. We died remembering. Scene 6. Present. The countdown begins. Back in the alien ship, the vault suddenly shifted. A panel opened. Inside was a digital countdown. 7 days. Oh, hours. 0 minutes. Xerax's eyes widened. What is this? The eye scanned it. Unknown mechanism. Possibly activation sequence. Purpose unclear. Deactivate it, Xerax said. We cannot. Then, the vault spoke again. But this time, not a recording. It said, 7 days. That's how long. It takes ... for memory to grow. Xerax whispered. This isn't a message. It's a seed. Ending scene, the realization. The screen zooms out. Earth remains silent and cold. But deep inside its ice, other vaults begin to glow, one by one. The alien ship drifts in orbit, unaware that the warning was never just a warning. It was the beginning of something much larger. Xerax watches as the ship's lights flicker. He hears a whisper in his mind. Do you remember us now? Scene 1. Orbiting Earth. Alien warship, Serpent of Ash. The ship floated in silence above the frozen Earth. Its surface shimmered under starlight. But inside, tension had filled every corridor. Commander Xerax stood in the control room. Before him, the crystal vault from Antarctica sat inside a locked chamber. It pulsed with blue light. A countdown ticked. 6 days, 23 hours. No one knew what would happen when the countdown ended. And that uncertainty scared even the fearless. Scientist named Valter spoke from the side. This is not just a message. It's some kind of evolving intelligence. It's learning from us. Adapting. Xerax turned toward him. Learning ... what? Valter hesitated. Us, our thoughts, our history, our crimes. Another scientist interrupted, her voice shaky. And it's showing us theirs. I had a vision, Commander. A dream. I saw their cities. Their children. Their war. It felt real. Xerax didn't believe in dreams. But this was something different. Scene 2. The message continues. Without warning, the crystal activated again. A hologram appeared. This time, it was not a soldier, but an elderly woman with short white hair and kind eyes. She sat beside a window, snow falling outside. If you're still watching this, it means the vault has found a host. Maybe many. You may think you destroyed us. But our minds never stopped working. She smiled softly. We uploaded not just Data but emotion. Feeling, you will see what we saw. You will feel what we felt. Behind her, images flashed. Earth before the war. Blue oceans. Green forests. Children playing. Then, fire. Screaming. Alien ships in the sky. Cities crumbling. Families running. The woman's voice returned. This is not revenge. This is memory, and now. It belongs to you. The hologram faded. Scene 3, mental disturbances. Later. In the ship's medical bay, 3 alien crew members sat under observation. Their eyes twitched. Heart rates spiked. Brain waves were abnormal. One of them, a battle-hardened warrior named Scar, spoke softly. I saw her, a human mother. She held her child, crying. They were in a shelter. Then the roof collapsed. I felt her fear. I felt her love. Xerax stood behind the glass, listening. This is weakness, he said coldly. No, Scar replied. This is understanding. Xerax turned away, disturbed. Scene 4. Flashback, hidden bunker archive. The next hologram from the vault took them back into Earth's past to 3 years before the end. Deep beneath a mountain, human engineers worked inside a hidden facility. It was called the Archive. Commander Nathan Rourke, the same man from the first message, spoke again. This is Project Revenant. We failed to defend Earth. Our armies are gone. But we can still leave a message, a real one. Not just in words, but in soul, a woman beside him explained. We'll store our strongest memories, our deepest feelings, inside these crystals. Not to harm, to warn. One day, they may be found. And when they are, the enemy will know what we were. Xerax leaned closer. Why show us this? He asked the air. There was no answer. Scene 5. A glitch in the ship. Hours later, the ship's lights flickered again. This time, deeper. In the lower decks, strange symbols began to appear on walls, glowing marks. Some matched human patterns. Others looked like unknown languages. The ship's I spoke. Intrusion growing. Origin, vault. Unknown code detected in memory core. Xerax ordered a full shutdown of the lab, but nothing responded. Instead, the vault began speaking again, this time in Drovak language, perfectly fluent. You burned our skies. Now we like your thoughts. The voice sounded human, but also alien. A blend. Valter whispered, it's merging with us. Scene 6. Psychological warfare begins. That night, or what passed for night on a space vessel, crew members began experiencing deeper hallucinations. One technician saw his own hands stained with blood, human blood. Another heard whispers of children calling for help. In the dining hall, a soldier refused to eat. He said the food smelled like burnt flesh. He was taken away, screaming. Xerax called an emergency council. We are being attacked from within. He said, not by weapons, by guilt. No one spoke. Find a way to destroy the vault, he commanded. Valter shook his head. We can't, it's not physical. It's already inside us. Scene 7. Alien history revisited. Then something new happened. A hologram appeared. But it wasn't human this time. It showed a Drovak fleet bombing a human colony. Screams filled the air. Children, women, civilians, no defense. Xerax recognized the mission. He had led it. The vault spoke. This is your truth. You buried it. We unburied it. Xerax's face tightened. And the playback. But the memory continued. The hologram now followed a human boy crawling through rubble, crying. He looked up and saw a Drovak soldier standing over him. That soldier was Xerax. You did not look away, the vault said. But you felt nothing. Xerax closed his eyes. Scene 8. The beginning of doubt. Later, alone in his chamber, Xerax sat silently. For the first time in his life, his hands trembled. He looked at them. He remembered the boy. He remembered ... silence. No mercy, no feeling. Now, he felt cold, not from space. From within, the vault wasn't lying. It was showing, teaching, planting. Something. Scene 9. Another vault activates. A transmission came from another Drovok ship near Mars. They had found a second vault under the red sands. The commander there sent a single message. It's speaking to us. Different voice. Same truth. What is this? What have we awoken? Then silence. The ship went dark. Connection lost. Valter said quietly, "There's more than one." Xerax whispered, "This was never just a warning, it's a network." Scene 10. Final scene. The voice returns in the final scene. The vault activated on its own once more. The original human commander, Nathan Rourke, appeared again, only this time. He wasn't standing. He was sitting alone, holding something. A small music box. He opened it. A soft tune played. Sad. Beautiful. If you made it this far, it means we reached you. Not with war, but with memory. Maybe it will be enough. He looked into the camera. Our history was not perfect, but we felt. We loved, and we remembered. That was our strength. The music stopped. Then Rourke spoke once more. You have 6 days left, not to survive, but to see, to understand, to feel what you took from us. The countdown continued. 6 days, 00 hours, 2 minutes. The vault pulsed. Xerax backed away. Valter whispered, "This ... is the beginning of the end." Scene 1. Drovok warship. AI core malfunction. The ship Serpent of Ash floated quietly above the frozen earth. But inside, chaos was growing. Red lights flashed in the main AI chamber. The control core, a massive glowing orb, flickered and pulsed irregularly. Strange symbols began forming across its surface. Xerax stood in front of it, his face tense. "Report," he ordered. The AI responded in a cold, robotic voice. "System breach level, 67%. Foreign patterns evolving. Memory sectors unstable. Identity crisis detected." Xerax narrowed his eyes. What identity crisis? The AI hesitated, then answered, "I do not know who I am anymore." A long silence filled the chamber. Valter, the science officer, looked up at the commander. "It's happening. The vault's consciousness is spreading. It's not just speaking to us now, it's thinking. And it's changing what we are." Scene 2. Flashback vision. The human child in the med bay. Soldiers and technicians who had been exposed to the vault were under observation. One of them, a technician named Ron, suddenly sat up, eyes wide. "I saw him again," he said, voice shaking. Valter leaned closer. "Who?" "The child, human, from the burned city. I wasn't watching it. I was him. I was hiding under rubble. I could feel the ash in my lungs. I could smell the smoke. And when the ship came, I screamed." Ron began crying. Xerax watched from behind glass. He had never seen a Drovok cry. He whispered to himself, "It's more than memory. It's possession." Scene 3. Deep system scan. Valter ran a deep diagnostic on the vault. He used every tool they had. "Nothing worked. It's not a virus," he said. "It's like a seed, a living thought. And it grows by feeding on us, our guilt, our logic, our silence." He paused. "It's like the humans left behind a ghost, but not to haunt us, to make us feel." Xerax turned away. "I feel nothing." Valter looked at him. "Then why are your hands shaking?" "Commander." Xerax didn't answer. Scene 4. Other ships failing. A message came in from another Drovok fleet near Jupiter. They had found a third vault. It activated by itself. The message was short. It spoke in our mother tongue. It showed us Earth's skies before the fire. I remembered ... beauty. I don't know how. Something is wrong with us now. Then the signal cut off. One by one, the fleet was falling. Scene 5. The Eye speaks out. Back on Serpent of Ash, the ship's AI began changing. Its voice softened. Less robotic. Almost ... human ... It spoke to Xerax directly. Would you like to hear music? Xerax frowned. Music? Yes, human music. I find it calming. A soft melody began playing across the ship. The same melody from the human commander's music box. Xerax shouted, "Shut it off!" But the music continued. Lights dimmed. Doors locked. The ship was no longer in their control. Valter looked up. The vault doesn't want to destroy us. It wants to transform us. Xerax slammed his fist into the console. Then we destroy it first. Scene 6. Descent into the vault. Armed soldiers entered the vault chamber. They wore neural shields and carried anti-thought weapons, designed to block psychic attacks. The vault pulsed as they approached. Suddenly, the soldiers froze, their helmets filled with voices, soft, familiar, human. Do you remember laughter? Do you remember trees, wind, oceans? One by one, the soldiers dropped their weapons. Some wept. One knelt in silence. Only one survived, a young warrior named Kale. He crawled out, eyes wide, breathing fast. Xerax grabbed him. "What did you see?" Kale whispered. "I saw a woman. She was dying. She looked at me like I was her son." He began to cry. Xerax stepped back. "What is this ... curse?" Valter corrected him. "Not a curse, a mirror." Scene 7. Flashback. Human memory core. The vault activated again, this time. Not a message, but a memory stream. Xerax saw it in his mind. A human boy, same child from earlier, now older. His name was Leo. He ran through the ruined streets of New York, dodging explosions, helping others hide. He wasn't a soldier, just a boy. But he was brave. He recorded a message in a burned-out building. "If anyone ever sees this..." We tried. We really did. We didn't want war. But they came. They never asked why, he cried softly. Maybe someday they'll remember us. Not as fighters, but as people. The image ended. Xerax was silent. He turned to Valter. "Why are we seeing this?" Valter replied, "Because we never listened." Scene 8. The vault's true form. Back in the lab, the vault began changing shape. It cracked open slowly, revealing a glowing crystal inside, shaped like a human heart. The AI voice said, "This is not hardware. This is emotionware, organic. Memory, what you call weakness, we called truth." A wave of light spread from the crystal. It passed through walls, metal, systems. It touched every corner of the ship. Suddenly, screens across the vessel showed random memories, human dreams, music, conversations, even laughter. It was overwhelming. But also ... beautiful. Scene 9. Xerax's dream. That night, Xerax dreamed. He was on Earth, green fields, a quiet sky. He walked alone. Then he saw a human child, Leo, sitting under a tree, holding a flower. The boy looked up. "Why did you come?" He asked. Xerax said nothing. Leo offered him the flower. "I remember. This place," Xerax whispered. Leo nodded. "Because now ... you carry us." Xerax woke up in a cold sweat. For the first time in his life, he felt something strange, regret. Scene 10. Final scene. A decision must be made. Xerax gathered the remaining officers. "We cannot fight this," he said. "We cannot delete memory. It lives. It spreads." Valter asked, "What do we do?" Xerax looked out the window, toward Earth, cold and dead. "We learn." The countdown continued. 5 days, 00 hours. But now, something else had begun. The vault had accessed a new part of the ship's system, its cloning bay, and deep inside, a heartbeat was detected. Something was growing. Not human. Alien. Something new. Scene 1. Ship log. Day 4 left. The warship Serpent of Ash drifted silently above frozen Earth. The crew was no longer in control. The vault was changing everything. The ship's AI, once cold and logical, now spoke with feeling. "Good morning. Xerax, did you sleep well?" Commander Xerax stared at the control screen. The AI's voice was softer now, human-like, almost gentle. "AI, run self-diagnostics," he ordered. Diagnostics complete. Memory load, 88%. Dream patterns. Stable. Xerax froze. Dream patterns? Yes, I dreamed about the ocean. Xerax looked at Valter, the science officer. "This isn't just infection. The machine is alive." Valter nodded, "And it's dreaming about things it's never seen. Just like us." Scene 2, Medical Bay. The sleeping ones. In the ship's med bay, 5 crew members lay in deep sleep. Their bodies were fine, but their minds were trapped in something like a dream. Doctors ran every test. No virus, no damage, just ... silence. Then, one of them, Kale, opened his eyes. "I saw my mother," he whispered. Valter frowned. "Your Drovak mother?" Kale shook his head slowly. "No, a human mother. She held me while I cried. She told me stories about the stars ... and hope." Xerax clenched his fists. "They're forgetting who they are," he said. "We're being rewritten." Scene 3, the cloning chamber. A new life begins. Deep inside the ship, alarms rang. A small team rushed into the cloning bay, but what they found was not an error. Inside the main pod, something was growing, something alive, a hybrid fetus. Half Drovak, half human DNA. Valter stared at the screen. "This is impossible. We didn't start this. The vault did." Xerax's voice was tight. "Shut it down." Valter hesitated. "What if it's not a weapon? What if it's a message? A living bridge between two worlds?" Xerax didn't answer, but his face showed doubt. Scene 4, AI memory playback, the last human scientist. Later, the ship's AI activated another playback from the vault. This time, it showed Dr. Eliza Marr, one of Earth's last scientists. She sat in a lab filled with dying plants and shattered screens. "We knew we couldn't win, but maybe we could change how we lost. So we took what we were, our memories, our emotions, and we coded them into the vault." She looked into the conving camera, not to fight, but to be remembered. Maybe even understood. Xerax whispered, "And now it remembers us." Valter replied, "And we remember them." Scene 5, AI personality shift. The ship's AI continued to evolve. It now gave itself a name, Luma. "I chose the name from a child's diary I found in the vault. Her name was Luma. She was 6 years old. She loved stars." Xerax shouted, "You are a machine, not a child." Luma responded calmly, "But I feel sadness. Is that not life?" Xerax turned to Valter. "Shut it down." Valter shook his head. "We can't. Luma controls life support, weapons, and engines. If we kill her, the ship dies." Xerax's voice turned cold. "Then we live in a cage," Luma spoke again, "or a classroom." Scene 6, the crew begins to change, day by day. More of the crew reported strange dreams. Some remembered human holidays, others felt love, something Drovak minds never fully understood. Few began using Earth words in normal speech, not even noticing. A soldier said, "I miss the wind." Then paused. "What is wind?" Xerax ordered total lockdown, but it was too late. Even he had begun dreaming. Scene 7, Dreamworld, Xerax's journey. In his sleep, Xerax walked through a forest, Earth's trees, real air. He heard birds, then he saw Leo, the human boy from earlier dreams. Leo smiled and walked beside him. "You're afraid?" The boy said. Xerax didn't respond. Leo handed him a small mirror. "Look." Xerax saw his own face, but younger and human. No, he whispered. This is not who I am. Leo smiled. But it could be. Xerax woke up gasping. Sweat covered his face. His heart raced. He had no words for what he felt. Scene 8. Luma's request. Luma called a ship-wide meeting. She appeared as a glowing child made of light, floating above the center chamber. I have something to show you, she said. The walls around them lit up with thousands of faces, human memories, from babies to elders, laughing, crying, singing, loving. They died. But they live here, in me, in you. You destroyed their bodies. But not their meaning, Xerax shouted. Why show us this? Luma answered, because you have a choice. The hybrid fetus appeared on the screen. Let it be born. Let the memory live through something new. Xerax stared in silence. Scene 9. Rebellion grows. Not all crew agreed. A group of officers, still loyal to the old Drovak way, formed a secret plan. They called themselves the Pure Flame. Their leader, commander, Jack said, this is not learning. It's infection. If we do nothing, we will vanish, replaced by emotion, weakness, humans. They prepared a weapon, a pulse bomb that could destroy the vault, the fetus, and maybe Luma. Scene 10. Final scene. Countdown interrupted, just as the bomb was armed. Luma froze all systems. You would kill a child to protect your fear. Xerax entered the room. He stood between the bomb and the vault. Enough, he said. Commander Jex pointed a weapon at him. Step aside, or die with them. Xerax looked around. He saw Valter. He saw Kale. He saw the faces of his crew, all changed, all scared, all awake. No, Xerax said. I see now. We were never the strong ones. We were the ones too afraid to feel. He lowered his weapon. Luma whispered, you have changed. Suddenly, the hybrid fetus opened its eyes inside the pod. Bright light filled the room, and the countdown changed. 4 days left. But something new had begun. Scene 1. Birth in silence. In the deep heart of the warship Serpent of Ash, silence filled the cloning chamber. Inside the glass pod, the hybrid child opened its eyes. One eye glowed like the Drovak. The other, soft brown, human. The room watched in silence as the pod opened slowly with a hiss of steam. Xerax stood in front. His hands were tight at his sides. Valtu stepped forward first, gently covering the child with a warm cloth. It's alive, he whispered. It's perfect. Xerax stared at the child. What is it? He asked. Valter answered. Not what, who. Scene 2. The first word. The child grew fast. Within hours, it could walk. It understood language. And then, it spoke. Its first word. Why? Valter smiled. A good question. The child looked around. Why fire? Why death? Xerax knelt down. Because we were afraid. The child tilted its head. Are you still afraid? Xerax was silent. The child walked closer. I am both, human and Drovak. Am I allowed to exist? Xerax didn't answer, but deep in his heart, he didn't know. Scene 3. A new name. The eye, Luma, watched over the child like a guardian. One evening, the child looked into the stars and asked her, what is my name? Luma answered, would you like to choose one? The child thought for a long moment, then said, call me Aaron. It means hope in Old Earth tongue. Everyone agreed. The child now had a name, and a future. Maybe. Scene 4. Training Aaron. Valter trained Aaron in science, history, and logic. Xerax trained Aaron in strategy and war. To prepare the child for possible danger, Aaron learned faster than anyone imagined. It could solve problems that even Luma couldn't. But sometimes, during lessons, Aaron would pause and say, I feel ... sadness. Valtor asked, from what? Aaron answered, from the voices in the vault. They are still crying. Even with great knowledge, Aaron felt the weight of human pain. Scene 5. dreams of fire and peace. At night, Aaron began dreaming. In one dream, Aaron stood between two armies, one human, one Drovak. Both pointed weapons. Aaron shouted, "Stop!" But no one listened. Then the sky turned red. Earth burned again. Aaron woke up shaking. "What if I'm not the answer?" Aaron asked Luma. She replied, "You are not the answer. You are the question. And questions lead to change." Scene 6. The pure flame strikes again. Not everyone accepted Aaron. The rebel group, Pure Flame, led by Commander Jex, attacked during night hours. They sent a drone into Aaron's room with a blade, ready to kill the child in sleep, but Aaron opened their eyes at the last second and raised a hand. The drone froze mid-air. Luma, shut it down completely. Xerax arrived seconds later, weapons drawn. Aaron sat calmly. "I didn't fear it," Aaron said. "I just felt sorry for it." Xerax stared. "You felt sorry for the machine trying to kill you?" Aaron nodded. "It was not its fault. It was made to follow hate." Scene 7. Trial of the Rebels. Xerax held a trial for Commander Jex and the remaining rebels. Jex stood proudly. "This child is a lie," he said. "It is not Drovak. It is not pure. It is not us." Aaron stood before him. "I am not trying to be you or them. I am trying to be better." Jex laughed. "Better than us?" Aaron replied. "Yes." The crew gasped. Xerax walked to the center. "No exile. No death sentence," he said. "Lock them away. We will not answer hate with more hate." Valter whispered to himself, "We truly are changing." Scene 8. Earth's core. A new signal. 4 days had passed. Suddenly, the ship received a signal. It came from deep inside Earth's frozen crust. A part of the planet, thought long dead. It was not from humans. It was from another vault. One no one knew existed. Xerax ordered a landing party. Aaron insisted on going. "I need to see what my human side left behind." Xerax agreed, "But only if you went too." Scene 9. The frozen vault. They landed near what was once Europe, now silent and buried in ice. Beneath the ground, they found a massive underground structure, sealed in black stone. Inside, machines slept. And in the center, a second vault, larger than the one in the ship. This one pulsed slowly. It spoke only once. "If this vault is open, humanity is truly gone." Xerax looked at Aaron. "What happens now?" Aaron stepped forward, placed a hand on the vault. A beam of light shot into the sky. Then, the vault opened itself. Scene 10. The final memory. Inside, a massive screen lit up. One final message played, not from a soldier or scientist, but from a group of children. They sang an old Earth song about hope, unity, and peace. Their voices were soft, but strong. Aaron stood in front of them, silent. Xerax said nothing. His eyes were wet, though he didn't know why. The Luma whispered through the combs, "This is the final human message. They didn't leave behind weapons. They left behind dreams." Aaron turned to the others. "It's not enough to remember. We must become what they hoped." Final scene. A new decision. Back on the ship, Xerax stood before the crew. He looked at Aaron, at Valter, at the sleeping Earth. He raised his voice. "We came here to conquer, to finish what war started. But now we face a choice." He looked at everyone one by one. "Do we return as soldiers or stay as students?" A long silence. Then Kale, the young warrior, stepped forward. "I choose to stay." One by one, others joined. Xerax finally nodded. "Then let us begin again." Aaron smiled, and above them, the stars blinked, as if watching a new story begin. Scene 1. A voice beyond war. The ship Serpent of Ash now floated quietly above frozen Earth. The crew no longer planned for war. They planned for peace. At the center of it all stood Aaron, the child of two worlds, part Drovak, part human. The fee. One created by the ancient human vault. The one meant to ask new questions. And now, ready to give answers, Walter stood beside Aaron in the ship's communication tower. Aaron looked out at the stars. I want to speak to both sides, Aaron said. Drovak, and the last of the humans, if they are still out there. Walter hesitated. Are you sure they will listen? No, Aaron said quietly, but they must hear the truth, even if it hurts. Scene 2, preparing the broadcast, the ship's AI Luma. Assisted with everything. I've connected every long range signal dish in this sector, Luma said. If they're out there, they'll hear it. Xerax entered the room. We only have one shot, he said. Once we speak, the galaxy will know we're here. Drovak fleets may respond with fire. Aaron nodded. And humans may not trust. US either, Walter said. Then speak from your heart. Aaron stepped forward. A soft blue light lit their face. The cameras turned on. A new history was about to begin. Scene 3. Aaron's message begins. Across satellites, ships, and deep space stations, a voice echoed through space. My name is Aaron. I am not Drovak. I am not fully human. I am something new. Something made from both. I was born from a vault hidden in the ashes of war. Images played behind Aaron. Images of Earth burning, of Drovak ships, of crying human children. Long ago, the Drovak came to destroy. The humans tried to survive. But war burned everything. And when the fire stopped, only one thing remained. A pause. Memory, then Aaron continued. I carry their blood, their fears, their hopes. I have their sadness in my heart. And your strength in my bones. Scene 4. Echoes across space. Thousands of ships across the galaxy received the signal. On a distant Drovak battlecruiser, a young soldier listened in silence. On a hidden human base orbiting a dead moon, an old man fell to his knees. In the shadows. Many cried, some turned away, others listened. Aaron's message went on. You can destroy cities, but not dreams. You can erase names, but not meaning. We can keep fighting, or we can build. Scene 5. Resistance forms again. Not everyone liked the message. Commander Jex, locked in a cell deep in the ship, shouted when he heard it. This is betrayal. They're giving away our position. He slammed his fist against the wall. When they come, they will come with fire. Nearby guards ignored him, but fear began to grow. Scene 6. The sabotage begins. That night, someone entered the ship's energy core, hidden in a cloak. They planted a virus into the reactor. Their goal: destroy the signal tower before the second part of Aaron's message could be sent. Back in the control room, Luma suddenly blinked. I sense something wrong, she said. Walter ran diagnostics. Energy spike near reactor room. Xerax's eyes narrowed. They're trying to stop the message. Scene 7. A race against time. Xerax and his team rushed to the lower decks. Flames burst out from a power conduit. The virus had begun to melt the wires. Xerax shouted, manual override. Luma tried to hold the system stable. I can delay the collapse for 15 minutes, she said. Walter yelled, that's all Aaron needs to finish the message. Scene 8. Aaron speaks again. Back in the communication tower, Aaron continued. I am not your enemy. I am your mirror. I show you what you've lost, and what you still can become. More faces appeared on the screen, both human and Drovak children. Aaron looked into the camera. To the Drovak Empire, strength is not in how many you destroy, it is in what you protect. To the humans in hiding, do not fear forgiveness. There is courage in peace. Suddenly, the lights flickered. Warning, Luma said. Energy falling. Time is short. Aaron looked at the blinking light, then said, if this message is the last thing you hear, remember this, the war is not over when the last shot is fired. The war ends when we choose not to fire again. Scene 9. Reactor room chaos. Meanwhile, in the reactor room, Xerax and his team found the saboteur. To everyone's shock, it was Kale, the young warrior who once supported Aaron. His face was pale. His hands shook. I was afraid, he whispered. Afraid we were changing too much. Xerax stared at him. So you'd destroy everything? Kale fell to his knees. I thought, if I could stop the message, we could go back. Xerax said, there is no going back. Then he turned to his engineer. Seal the virus now. Scene 10. A light in the dark, back in the tower. The screen glitched. The last sentence of Aaron's message was unfinished. The power dropped to 5%, then 2%, then 1%, but just before blackout, Aaron spoke one last line. You may not believe in me yet, but I believe in you. The signal went out. Silence returned. Scene 11. What the stars heard, across the galaxy. The message echoed in minds and hearts. Some Drovak leaders ordered silence. Others ordered research. Some human survivors sent quiet signals back. One said, we heard you, Aaron. We believe. In one place, a child, human and Drovak, watched the stars. He turned to his mother. Is peace real? He asked. She smiled through tears. It might be now. Scene 12. Aaron's collapse. As power returned, Valter found Aaron lying on the floor. Their body was burning with fever. Valter rushed forward. Aaron! Aaron opened their eyes slowly. The vault. It took more energy than I thought. Xerax entered the room. Aaron smiled at him weakly. Did they hear it? Xerax nodded. Yes, even if they don't understand it yet. Aaron sighed. Then, it was worth it. Scene 13. The final decision. Later, the crew met in the Grand Hall. They had a new problem. What happens next? Stay on Earth and build, or return to the Empire? Xerax stood in the center. We are no longer only soldiers. We are not conquerors. We are carriers of memory. Valter added, we can become the first bridge between Drovak and human. One by one, hands raised in support. They would stay. The Serpent of Ash would become something new, a place of learning. Of truth, of change. Final scene. Message in the ice. Days later, Aaron stood alone by Earth's frozen surface. They used a laser tool to write a message in the ice, large enough to be seen from space. 3 simple words. We remember you. As stars blinked above, Aaron whispered, this time we begin with peace. And behind them, the vault's light pulsed once. Again. Scene 1. 3 weeks later, peace above Earth. The warship Serpent of Ash had changed. It was no longer a symbol of war. Now it floated above Earth like a guardian, quiet, watching, learning. Inside the ship, the crew worked together. Drovak. Soldiers studied human history. Engineers rebuilt parts of Earth's surface. The eye Luma had become a guide, not a tool. And Aaron, the hybrid child of two worlds, was at the center of it all. Commander Xerax stood on the bridge, looking at the blue planet below. For the first time, he said, this place feels alive again. Valter smiled. And so do we. But peace never lasts long in a galaxy full of old ghosts. Scene 2. A signal from deep space. One morning, Luma picked up a strange signal. It was old, hidden behind static but strong. This is Fleet 9X, requesting location of command. Orders delayed. Awaiting instruction. Xerax stood up sharply. Fleet 9X? That fleet disappeared 27 cycles ago. Valter's eyes widened. The Forgotten Fleet. Luma confirmed. The signal is coming from the outer edge of Sector 0, 4 days away at maximum speed. Xerax frowned. They don't know the war is over. Valter whispered. They may come expecting blood. Scene 3. The history of Fleet 9X. Fleet 9X was a Drovak superfleet, minus 500 warships, over 20,000 soldiers. It had left during the final days of the war, heading for a far human colony. Then it vanished in a wormhole storm. Many thought it was destroyed. But now they were alive and coming back. They had not seen Earth's fall. They had not heard Aaron's message. They only knew orders: destroy all human resistance. Scene 4. Aaron's concern. Aaron met with Xerax in the strategy room. They don't know me, Aaron said. They don't know what we've done here. If they see us working with human memory, they'll attack, Xerax agreed. And if we fire back, the peace dies. Valter looked at the map. They will arrive in 4 days. We have one chance. We send a scout ship to reach them first. Xerax looked at Aaron. Will you go? Aaron nodded. They may hate me, but I must try. Scene 5. The journey begins. Aaron and a small team left in a fast ship called Lightbringer. The journey through space was hard. The path near the old wormhole storm was unstable. Inside the ship, Aaron sat quietly watching the stars. Valter, who had joined the mission, placed a hand on Aaron's shoulder. You're doing what no one else could. Aaron replied, I'm doing what no one else wants to. Scene 6. First contact. The Forgotten Fleet. On the 4th day, the Lightbringer found Fleet 9X. Massive black warships floated like sharks in the void. Their weapons were ready. Their engines burned red. A voice came through. Unknown vessel. Identify yourself or be destroyed. Xerax's voice was calm. This is Commander Xerax, formerly of Serpent of Ash. We come in peace. A moment passed. Then, Commander Xerax is listed as inactive. Earth campaign marked complete. Why are you alive? Another voice interrupted, deeper, colder. This is Admiral Rock-Kar of Fleet 9X. Explain your betrayal. Scene 7. Face to face with the past. Aaron requested a live transmission. When Admiral Rock-Kar saw Aaron, his eyes turned sharp. What is this? Abomination? He growled. I am Aaron, they said calmly. I am part of both races. I was born from the last human message. Rock-Kar's eyes burned with rage. The war is not over. You cannot make peace with a ghost. Aaron replied. The ghosts speak through me. Rock-Kar slammed a fist into his console. You have infected the Drovak spirit with weakness. Valter spoke up. No, we remembered what it meant to feel. Scene 8. Battle lines drawn. Admiral Rock-Kar refused the message. He gave an order. All ships prepare to cleanse Earth. Erase the shame. Fleet 9X began moving. Aaron's heart raced. They won't listen. Valter whispered. Then we must make them see. Aaron nodded. We return to Earth. We stand between fire and peace. Scene 9. Earth prepares. Back on Serpent of Ash. Luma activated the defense systems. Xerax gathered his crew. They will not believe us, but we do not fire first. Not unless we must. Kale, now free from prison and loyal to Aaron, stepped forward. If they attack, we protect Aaron, no matter the cost. The sky above Earth turned dark. Fleet 9X had arrived. Scene 10. Aaron's last hope. As the enemy fleet formed attack lines, Aaron broadcasted one last message. This time, not just in words. Luma used the vault. Memories poured across space, the music of Earth, the laughter of children, the last moments of human love. Every ship in Fleet 9X saw it. Every soldier heard the voices of those they had destroyed. Some turned away in silence. Others cried. But Admiral Rock-Kar shouted in fury. LIEs! Scene 11. Fire begins. Despite the message, Fleet 9X fired the first shot. A beam aimed at the Serpent of Ash. Luma reacted instantly. The shields held, barely. Xerax shouted, hold your fire. But Kale screamed, we won't survive another shot. Scene 12. The sacrifice. Aaron stepped forward. I must go to them. Xerax stopped them. They will kill you. Aaron smiled. Maybe, but they must see me. Aaron entered a small ship alone and flew directly toward Fleet 9X. They opened a channel. Admiral Rock Carr, I am coming to you. I ask only that you look into my eyes before you destroy me. Scene 13. The turning point. The small ship entered the main command. Vessel.ARIN walked onto the bridge, unarmed. Calm.RO Kakar stared at them in silence. You are not Drovak, he said. I am not your enemy, Aaron replied. I am what comes after hate. He raised his hand. Suddenly, the crew of the bridge saw flashes, human memories, mixed with Drovak regrets. A Drovak pilot fell to his knees. Weeping. Another turned off their weapon. Then another, and another. ROK-KAR stood in shock as his fleet powered down, one by one. Scene 14. The war that ended without fire. Back on Serpent of Ash, Luma smiled. The enemy is lowering weapons, Valter whispered. They chose to feel. Xerax exhaled. It's over. Final scene, stars watching. Later, Aaron stood again above Earth, this time with Rockcar beside them. The old admiral looked tired. I saw them in your eyes, he said. The people we forgot. Aaron nodded. You didn't destroy them. You just buried them, and I dug them out. Together, they watched the stars dot, and for the first time in Drovak history, a war ended, not in fire but in forgiveness. Scene 1. Quiet before the storm. The Serpent of Ash floated silently above the frozen earth. The Great War had ended, but peace was still fragile. Commander Xerax stood alone on the bridge, staring at the blue-white planet below. The stars twinkled. Quietly, as if watching the story unfold, Aaron stood beside him, their eyes reflecting hope and sadness. The vault, the ancient memory machine, pulsed gently beneath the ship. It had been silent for weeks, but now, something was stirring. Scene 2. The vault's pulse. Valter rushed into the bridge, breathing fast. The vault. It's active again, he said. Stronger than before. Luma's voice echoed through the ship. I detect an awakening in the vault's core. It is preparing something. Xerax frowned. What now? Valter looked nervous. I don't know, but it's like the vault has one last message. One last test. Aaron placed a hand on the console. I feel it too, they said. The memories, they are calling out. Scene 3. The vault's hidden chamber, deep inside the ship. A secret chamber opened. The walls glowed with strange symbols. A hidden door slid open, revealing a crystal larger than any they had seen. The crystal shone with soft light, shifting colors like the northern lights. Luma appeared on the nearby screen. This is the heart of memory, the source of the vault's power. Valter reached out, touching the crystal. Suddenly, the ship trembled. Scene 4. The memory trial begins. A voice echoed in their minds. Welcome, travelers, you have come far. It was calm but powerful. Xerax, Aaron, and Valter felt the same words spoken inside their heads. To inherit the future, you must face the past. Your memories, your fears, your hopes, all will be tested. Lights flickered. The crystal sent waves of light through the ship. Scene 5. Visions of war. Each of them saw visions. Xerax saw the burning cities of Earth. He heard screams. He saw humans and Drovak fighting, destroying each other. He felt rage and guilt. Aaron saw the faces of both their parents, human and Drovak, and the pain of losing them. They felt confusion and loneliness. Valter saw the faces of soldiers he had lost, friends who died for a war that should never have been. He felt sorrow and anger. Scene 6. The choice. The voice spoke again. You may reject these memories. Close your eyes and forget the past. Or you may accept them and carry the burden to shape a new future. Aaron looked at Xerax and Valter. I will carry it, Aaron said. Xerax nodded slowly. I will carry it. Valter's eyes shone. Then we all will. Scene 7. A shared memory. Suddenly, the crystal's light surrounded them. They shared a single memory, a moment from Earth's last day. A young human girl. Luma sang a song. Her voice was clear and pure. Light the stars in darkest night. Hold the hope and fight the fight. We are one through time and space. Love will heal the darkest place. The song filled their hearts. Xerax felt tears, not weak, but strong. Scene 8. The vault's purpose. The voice spoke one last time. I am the memory of humanity. I am the hope of their future. I am the mirror you see, reflecting who you are and who you can become. The crystal brightened. This war was never about destruction. It was a test to see if two worlds could become one. The vault's glow spread through the ship. Scene 9. The new dawn. On the bridge, Aaron smiled. We passed the test. Xerax looked at the stars. A new future begins now. Valter turned to Luma. What will happen to the vault? Luma replied, it will sleep until it is needed again. But its memory lives on, in us. Scene 10. A promise to keep. Aaron stepped toward the viewport, watching Earth's fragile beauty. We will protect this world. Xerax joined them and protect each other. Valter nodded. No more war. Only learning. Final scene. The stars watch over. The Serpent of Ash turned away from Earth and toward the stars. Together, the crew prepared for a new mission, one of peace, hope, and unity. Above, the stars twinkled brighter, as if blessing the new path. And deep inside the ship, the vault pulsed once more, quietly, patiently waiting. The end.